Can a truth exist before we experience it? This intriguing question invites us to dive into the fascinating world of the concept known as a priori. This intriguing term has its roots in Latin and can be understood as from the earlier. But what does it really mean in the context of our knowledge and experience? Picture this. You're holding a ripe apple in your hand. You know that if you let it go, it will fall to the ground. You know this because you've seen it happen before, right? But what if you've never dropped an apple before? Can you still predict what will happen? This is where the concept of a priori comes in. In the realm of philosophy, a priori refers to knowledge we can have independently of or prior to any specific experience. It's the knowledge we seem to have without needing to look at the world for confirmation. It's the kind of knowledge that seems to be built into the very structure of our understanding. A classic example is the statement, "All bachelors are unmarried." You don't need to meet every bachelor in the world to know this is true. The truth of the statement seems to come from the meanings of the words themselves, not from anything in the world. But how does a priori relate to our experiences? It's a fascinating paradox. A priori is not a denial of the role of experience in knowledge acquisition. Rather, it's about the order of operations. Do we gain knowledge and then have an experience? Or do we have an experience and then gain knowledge? Take, for example, the statement, "Breaking a hand is a bad thing." We don't need to personally experience the pain of a broken hand to know that it's undesirable. This knowledge is a priori. It exists before the experience. But it's also based on the collective human experience of pain and harm. A priori knowledge, then, seems to exist in a kind of symbiotic relationship with experience. It's not that it exists independently of experience, but rather that it is unanchored from any particular experience. It's a fascinating dance between thought and experience, between the past, present, and future. To summarize, a priori is knowledge that appears to exist independently of specific experiences. It's about understanding truths that seem to be built into the fabric of reality itself. But it's not a denial of the role of experience. Instead, it challenges us to think about the relationship between knowledge and experience, between thought and reality. It's a concept that invites us to question, to ponder, and to deepen our understanding of the world. So, next time you hold an apple in your hand, remember the knowledge that it will fall if you let it go is a priori. It's a knowledge that exists before the apple even begins its descent. And that in itself is a fascinating thought to ponder.